For days, South Africans speculated about where President Cyril Ramaphosa stood after the High Court's stunning order that his government must facilitate the return of Afrikaners who have immigrated from the country. Silence dominated the union buildings, fueling rumors of internal divisions, legal appeals, and frantic consultations behind closed doors. Now, after mounting pressure from both supporters and critics, Ramaphosa has finally broken his silence, and his words reveal not just his stance on the court's directive but also his broader vision for South Africa's fragile unity. Speaking at a late-night press briefing, Ramaphosa addressed the matter with a mix of caution and conviction. South Africa belongs to all who live in it, and those who wish to return to their land of birth should be welcomed, he said, echoing the spirit of the Constitution. Yet, he stopped short of endorsing the court's demand in its entirety. Instead, his carefully measured response highlighted the tension between legal obligation and political reality. He described the ruling as complex and unprecedented, noting that while the judiciary plays a vital role, governance requires balancing diverse national interests. This delicate positioning reflects the quiet storm that has brewed inside the presidency since the ruling was handed down. According to insiders, Ramaphosa spent days consulting legal experts, economic advisors, and political strategists before crafting his response. Some within the ANC reportedly urged him to reject the ruling outright, framing it as judicial overreach. Others, however, saw the order as a potential turning point and opportunity to address long-standing grievances, encourage skills repatriation, and demonstrate a willingness to heal old wounds. Ramaphosa's decision to strike a middle path speaks to his reputation as a consensus builder, though it also exposes him to criticism from both sides. What Ramaphosa really thinks, as became clear in his remarks, is that the Afrikaner question is not just about one community, it is about the broader challenges of reconciliation and nation-building. We cannot speak of return without speaking of why so many left in the first place, he said pointedly, referencing the fears, insecurities, and frustrations that pushed thousands of Afrikaners, including skilled professionals and farmers, to seek opportunities abroad. For him, the issue is not simply logistical, how to bring them back, but moral, how to build a country in which all feel secure, valued, and hopeful about the future. Ramaphosa also raised the economic angle, noting that the departure of Afrikaners contributed to South Africa's ongoing brain drain, with vital expertise in sectors like agriculture, engineering, and finance lost to other nations. If we want them to return, we must build an economy that convinces them to stay, he remarked. This subtle shift reframes the court's order not as a government directive to repatriate individuals, but as a call to create conditions where return becomes a natural choice rather than an imposed one. Still, the president did not hide his unease with the time-bound nature of the court's mandate. The 7-day deadline, he suggested, was impractical and risked reducing a deeply complex issue to a mere political spectacle. Nation-building cannot be rushed by court orders, he cautioned. His words reflect the underlying struggle he has faced since the ruling, how to respect judicial authority without allowing governance to be dictated by sudden legal shocks. Critics, however, argue that Ramaphosa's carefully balanced response amounts to evasion. Opposition leaders accused him of hiding behind rhetoric and failing to present a clear plan of action. On social media, reactions were divided, some praising his attempt at unity, others blasting him for weakness. But those who know Ramaphosa's political style recognize the method in his measured tone. He is not one to act rashly, instead, he prefers to buy time, build consensus, and avoid deepening divisions. Ultimately, what Ramaphosa really thinks about the Afrikaner return order is this: the court has raised a valid but deeply thorny question, one that cannot be solved with quick fixes or political grandstanding. His response makes it clear that he views the challenge as part of South Africa's broader journey toward inclusivity, healing, and stability. For him, the issue is less about Afrikaners alone and more about creating a South Africa in which no one feels compelled to leave, and where those who have left see reasons to come back. As the deadline looms, Ramaphosa's words may not satisfy everyone, but they reveal a leader navigating one of the most sensitive tests of his presidency. By breaking his silence, he has opened a national conversation, one that forces South Africans to confront questions of history, belonging, and the future they want to build together. Whether he succeeds in translating his cautious vision into meaningful policy remains to be seen, but his message is clear: South Africa's unity cannot be dictated